Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Please, sir.
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell 'em turn it out till they get no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last warning, a courtesy call. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way. When it hits, it shakes me too.
Defenders Live, Mojo 50 Radio, Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, we're never here on a Sunday, so it's just Monday. Of course, everybody's been going through the work week and everything else except for him because he's a stay-at-home dad and also AI, so he doesn't have to work.
I do work. I just work behind the scenes. I cannot do math, though. We have found that out.
We have found that out.
Probably the only AI on planet Earth that cannot do math.
And also fuddles your words a little bit.
Just a teensy-weensy bit. Well, when you have that much processing power trying to push all of that out of a little bitty hole, it...
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, welcome to the show, everybody. Defenders Live. We are on mojo50.com. Make sure you go over there, check out all the other awesome hosts as well. You can talk with us over there on the message boards, watch and see our beautiful faces there. You can also see them on virtually all the social medias, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the YouTubes, DLive.tv. What else? You can do all of them at DOAE Show. Make sure you use the hashtag ArmYourselves. That is.
Uh-oh. Dylan.
Steven's just kind of...
Nah, you broke for a second.
I told you, trying to do math. All that out of a little bitty hole.
Yeah, you broke for a second.
I know. All of that out of a little bitty hole. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Mm-hmm.
DOAE Show, at DOAE Show on all of the social medias. Hashtag ArmYourselves.
Yes, it is.
Because it makes Steven's eye twitch if you don't.
It does.
Oh, what else am I forgetting here tonight? I don't think... Oh, raffle. We are raffling off the logo, the Mojo 50 logo. Steven has it in hand. If you're watching on the Facebooks or the Periscopes or D-Live or anything. If you're
all the
watching
video
us,
feeds.
All the video feeds. Yeah, we're there. He's holding it up there. It's a nice little wooden Mojo 50 emblem. The go to doaeshow.com/shop. You can find right there. There's the raffle ticket. Purchase is $2 per ticket.
Yep.
Put you into the drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And the drawing is August 3rd.
No, September 3rd. September 3rd.
September 3rd. I'm sorry. September 3rd. We're going into
we're doing for a
Holy-
whole month, man. Whole month.
It's already going into August.
I know.
Good Lord. Anyway, yes, go over there. So pick up your raffle tickets. That'll be raffled off. It is so beautiful. It comes with a stand and everything. You won't be sorry.
Indeed, you will not be sorry. Anyway, let's get into this because we spend a lot of time talking to each other and all the rest, and all the little tawdries and all the rest of it. So let's get to the actual stories. You guys are here not to listen to us jibber jabber back and forth, but to talk some stories.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that. Talk
We
stories.
are. Let's start with one this one's kind of... This is irritating to me. Because I get where he's coming from with it, and it sounds good on paper, but he's just showing that he is establishment. The headline reads, GOP senator introduces a resolution declaring America will never be a socialist country.
America!
Oh, yeah! I had to change that because I almost
Can't
said
say
it
the
the
other
wrong-
word.
I almost said the other word. Senator Steve Daines, the Republican from Montana.
Dang it, Steve.
Dang it, Steve. Introduced a resolution on Monday to condemn the, quote, growing socialist movement in our country, end quote. and to take a stand for freedom.
If he only had a Danes.
Or in this case, if you only had a brain.
Yeah.
Quote, we are at a pivotal time in our nation's history. He said while speaking on the Senate floor, quote, America is founded upon the principles of liberty and the free enterprise system, the promotion of national sovereignty, and a great national defense.
Yes.
Under the balls, we have built the greatest nation in the history of the world. End quote. Long or the short, he's trying to legislate morality, is what, and it's not actually morality, but he's trying to legislate the heart. People eventually are going to go where they feel, in a lot of instances, and that's what socialism is. It is the party of the feels. We feel that this person is.
Hold on. Continue.
It is the party of the feels. And thank you. That'll make it better. Okay, being the party of the feels as they are, it's one of those things that you're only going to give out, obviously, based off of what somebody somewhere thinks is a good idea, not by what actually works. Sadly, you can't force that onto anyone.
Right.
No more than technically you could force socialism onto anyone.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is just proving that he is no different than the socialists he's trying to block.
Yes, that is true. Yes, because what it's doing to him and to everybody else is he's formulating a legislation which doesn't do anything, but it makes him feel better.
Exactly, because he's done something.
Right.
Even though it literally is the same thing as a gun law. Oh, well, we can't have this gun law, or we have to make another gun law because some kid got shot, so we have to ban something or another.
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter. And the next story we're going into, and it's going to conveniently roll right into the Second Amendment and to guns and this very sort of thing. It's not going to change anything. There's nothing that you can do or say. There's no law, there's no rule, there's no commandment, there's no anything that will fully prevent a human being from doing what they put their mind to do. Period.
Correct.
Period.
And one of the best examples of that we have today is Combat Flip-Flops. You see, Combat Flip-Flops is an amazing company. Their tagline is "Bad for running, worse for fighting." It's a veteran-led organization. Their entire idea for their company is to educate and to give jobs to people in areas that have already been war-torn, destroyed, etc., and prove to them that war is not the only way to change hearts and minds. One of the best ways to do that is actually through commerce. Now, everything Combat Flip-Flops manufactures is made in an area of conflict. Like I said, Afghanistan, Colombia, Laos, all of those places. They take these factories that have been decommissioned. At one time were some place that was, a military boot factory. Now they've changed it over to a flip-flop company.
And they're comfy flip-flops, too.
That's what I've heard. I can't wear them. I can't wear flip-flops. I am one of those. Doesn't work for me. But if you are one of those people that love some flip-flops, maybe you can check it out, and you can be supporting something that actually is good for the world. Go to combatflipflops.com. That's combatflipflops.com. Use the promo code Defender25, and you can get 25% off of your first purchase with them. That's Defender25 over at combatflipflops.com. So, speaking of gun control laws,
liked how I did that. Huh?
Yeah, it was good. That was commanding. Very, very.
It's
very nice.
Almost done this before.
Almost like you meant to do it. So there was a gunman in Gilroy, in the Gilroy mass shooting in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he bought. Get ready for this. Hold your horses now.
Eating with bated breath. Go.
He bought an assault type rifle. Legally in Nevada.
Say it is. technically can.
Technically, any rifle, any gun, any weapon can assault somebody.
Yes. Technically, though, this ink pen, is this making an assault pin? If I stab this into your eye.
Yeah, that's an assault pin.
Assault pin. This is an assault type pin.
Yes, because it's sharp and pointy.
It is, especially like this. Look at that. That's
really sharp and pointy. And it's got the yeah.
And ink in there, that can't be good for your body.
No.
So, but everything there's a you know what? I've got some assault style mulch out in my front yard.
Assault style mulch.
They don't tell you that when you're at Lowe's and Home Depot buying it, that
it's assault mulch.
Yeah.
Is that because you can get a splinter?
No, it's because it has termites in it.
Oh, well, that is assaulting.
Yeah, it is assaulting. Now, again, and they're not making light of the shooting itself. God knows it was very tragic. And there was a 19-year-old gunman who attacked the Gilroy Garlic Festival Sunday, which, God bless him, I didn't realize they had a garlic festival, but I should be good. But it was an AK-47 style assault rifle that he had purchased legally in Nevada less than 3 weeks prior. But the police still have no motive for why the guy targeted the popular event.
Yes.
I
They have no clue of why he targeted the event. They just know that he brought a gun.
Well, that's pretty obvious between the, pew, pew, pew and the screams. That was pretty self-evident. But you can't just turn around. The guy bought it. He bought it legally.
Yeah.
There isn't anything you can do to stop that. There are people, sadly, in this world that are just bad people. There are also people who are mentally
unfit.
Unfit. I like that. That's much cleaner. Yes, mine is the way I said it was worse. But yeah, they're not fit, and you're not going to catch it. Some folks, it doesn't manifest itself until later in life. There's all these little things. You can't catch everything. You can come up with deterrents and possibilities, et cetera, but you're not going to be able to take guns out of people's hands and keep this from ever happening. It is tragic. It is sad. There was a 6-year-old boy died, a 13-year-old girl, just to name the few, or among the few that
Person in his
died
20s.
at this thing.
Yeah.
And it's sad. A 6-year-old kid. I've got a 6-year-old little boy. That thought is tragic and it's horrific. But if it happens, it happens. The guy bought it legally. You can't. There's nothing you can do. There's no difference in him doing that and getting caught in getting caught by someone's spouse in their room and them losing their nuts and trying to kill you that way. It's a thing. Sometimes it just happens.
Oh, and just for clarification, Gilroy used to be called the garlic capital of the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then Harry Reid happened to Nevada, and everything went to hell.
No, then the song Kilroy came out, and it was terrible. Horrible PR.
Okay.
Robot.
But it's just, I got that. I'm just moving on. From the Gilroy chief of police, quote, the suspect was armed with an assault-type rifle, and as soon as he saw the officers, he engaged the officers and fired at the officers. I think he's trying to establish there might be a possibility he shot at officers.
He might have shot at an officer.
When he saw the officers. I think officers were there. I can't prove it, but I'm called it a wild hunch.
I mean, there's officers. They got shot at.
Quote, sure. I had 3 officers that engaged with that suspect, and despite the fact that they were outgunned with their handguns against a rifle, those 3 officers were able to fatally wound the suspect and end it very quickly.
Question.
Steven, go 5-0.
What actual rifle was it?
Said it was an AK-47 style assault rifle.
No. What was the caliber of the bullet?
Oh, that's a good question. I did not see that. I am not seeing it on here. Could not tell you.
Okay, because here's what I'm saying. The style more than likely it just shoots a pistol round or something close to a pistol round. If it's actually smaller than a pistol round, most of them.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I was gonna say the MP5 shoots a 9mm.
Yeah. So like an MP5 9mm is you're undergunned.
Yeah,
the one guy with a rifle that isn't automatic is outgunning you.
No, I'm sorry. You can't say you're outgunned when you end it with, well, but we killed it. Then you're not outgunned. You won. You had more of it. There was one rifle against 3 pistols.
And those pistols are at least 9mm, if not
at 40.
Right.
40, maybe a 45, depending on who they were and what they were doing. But for the most part, yes, between a 9 and a 40. Right. But yes, you can't say you're outgunned if you got the guy. If you win, you're not outgunned.
Right. Oh, thank you guys. It's a 223, so it's basically a 22.
Yeah. Well, no, and but I'm saying they just said it was a style. Like unless somebody's getting that info from a different article that actually says the exact type of rifle that was used. I mean, we're just guessing that's a 2.2, but it's still, you're right. That's a small caliber. That's nothing. That's nothing. And just because the clip is bigger, just because he may be able to pull the trigger faster, doesn't mean, thank you, just doesn't mean that, oh, you're outgunned. Outgunned is if he has like 8 or 10 of them, and there's guys posted up in different positions, and you're 3 guys with a pistol. That's outgunned.
Yeah.
One guy with one rifle against 3 guys with pistols. And I guarantee you the 3 guys with the pistols actually have training. They know how to shoot. For sure. We don't know about this guy, the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
We can speculate, we can guess. But we know for a fact that the officers, in order to be officers, have to be good at shooting. So you're not outgunned.
Right.
This is
right.
It's just part of the narrative. When you use the buzz phrases like assault type style rifle, when you use things like, well, the officers were outgunned, you're just trying to paint this narrative that, oh, these rifles and these things are so bad, and no, and you got to take them away. When in reality, it is not near as bad as it was. If the officers won, you're not outgunned.
So if you go to the MeWe page, apparently Blue Waffle wants to make sure that we know it's an SKS, which is a 7.65 millimeter round. So still smaller than a 9. It can hold a lot of rounds ish, maybe, but only if you have a bigger clip. And it's an SKS, so it's not even an assault rifle because it's got the wooden stock most of the time.
But again, when you use the phrases assault type rifle and outgunned, to most people, and I'm not even talking like folks like, you or I who kind of, well, you don't live out in the country, I do. But when you have, regular rural folk like ourselves, you say it to people who live in New York City, or you say it to people who live in Charlotte, or even the bigger places like that, they're going to go, oh my goodness, clutching my pearls, I got palpitations. And you're going to panic, and yes, we need to take them away. Because they don't live it. They're just being fed this little stuff, and then they go off on their way. That's what this is for. It's just meant to further drive a wedge between people.
Yep.
It's to make ignorant more ignorant, and those who actually know what the hell they're talking about and know what's going on more infuriated.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up being like the bad guys.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah. You are exactly correct. And one of the people that actually respects that and respects your Second Amendment rights is Patriot Mobile.
Mm-hmm. We like some Patriot Mobiles.
We do. And look, Big Mobile is using its influence to push radical anti-faith, anti-family agendas now. If you're using their services, you are supporting their attack on our values. We've got to become more educated consumers. Don't miss your chance to support gun rights, religious liberty, immigration law, the sanctity of life when you switch to veteran-led Patriot Mobile. America's only conservative cell phone company out there. Get a free month of service. This is the last week.
Got to get in on this. This is an amazing deal.
Free month of service the last week. They're changing promo codes. Come next week. Join the thousands of members like me that switched from Big Mobile. When I learned that the cell phone companies that I was supporting they also supported Planned Parenthood and sanctuary cities and terrible service. And yeah, it's easy to switch to Patriot Mobile. You'll save money. You'll get the same super reliable nationwide service and feel good about funding the right agenda. With unlimited plans starting as low as $25 a month, get a free month of service today when you support your values.
My value?
When you come on over. Visit patriotmobile.com/mojo50. Use the promo code come on over. Again, that's patriotmobile.com/mojo50. Promo code come on over.
That's true.
And enjoy a free month of service with all new lines this week.
Free month.
This week, and this week is only. They're changing it.
Month. Yeah, they're ready to go. Sarah the Jackhole over on the Twitters at Dylan Lyles and at Stephen Airy are a breath of fresh air. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. And remember, guys, you can talk to us. We do keep an eye on the social medias as best as we possibly can. We've got like a bunch of stuff open. So if we don't read yours, please don't be upset. But we do on MeWe's and Twitter and Facebook. I've got watch parties up on different places, all of them at DOAE Show. We will keep an eye on that. We'll try to interact in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
But we like to involve ourselves with you. We like to grow closer.
Not that way.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I do know. Love you guys. That's just not right. So, prison riots in Brazil leave 16 inmates decapitated and a dozen more killed.
Holy.
I just fragged Dylan's systems.
And again, I just fragged Dylan's systems. Yeah, you did. Well, no, it's the article. It's F and CNN, and it's that whole autoplay.
Oh, yeah, it's doing the whole autoplay thing, yeah.
Yeah, even though it's on read only, it's still autoplaying. No, you would think though that a prison, I get it, it's Brazil, but you would think at a prison, decapitations might be kind of difficult.
Yeah, you would think so, but apparently more than 50 inmates were killed during a prison riot in northern Brazil on Monday. That's according to local authorities. Jarbas Vasconcelos,
Hashtag like a native, hashtag nailed it.
superintendent of the penitentiary system of the state of Pará, said that 16 of the 52 inmates who died in the Altamira prison were decapitated. The rest are believed to have died from asphyxiation due to the prisoners setting a fire in part of the facilities.
Why are you laughing? These guys die. I mean, they make horrible people.
I'm sorry. The riot began when a group of prisoners stormed a prison wing controlled by a rival faction.
So it was a prison turf war, basically.
It's a turf war.
Two
correctional guards take captives were released. What?
That's a typo. It's supposed to be we were taken captive.
Yeah, but they were released later.
Damn you, CNN.
Proofread your shit, man.
Yeah, it is. It literally reads, quote, 2 correctional guards take captive were released.
Yeah. Proofread.
I mean, even the AI could catch that. And I can't do math.
And
so.
yeah, that's terrible when the AI catches it and you can't. The incident is the latest in strings of deadly violence that has plagued Brazil's prisons in recent months. In May, 55 inmates were killed in a gang-related riot at 4 prisons in western Brazil, local authorities and all the rest. Apparently, if you go to Brazil and you go to prison, you have a high likelihood of dying before you're set free. You might want to stay out. Just don't do anything stupid in Brazil. That's kind of the way to go. We'll be right back right after this.
Wow.
I can't believe there are that many typos in this one article.
That was what was funny is not the...
I'm trying to straight read this thing and...
It's like a 6-year-old wrote it.
Yeah, it really is. Look at Tech Roo.
Not the tech.
The
Look
tech.
See, that's just a... Ooh.
It says, "Give me garlic."
Trying to look at that picture real well. Is that bolt action?
Huh? No, I think that's the SKS. It's the same sort of gun.
Is it? I don't know. I can't tell.
That's the assault style gun that he used.
Oh, well. And when Tech Ruse got it, there's a problem.
That's right.
Then you see his face.
Da, 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 da.
Now I'm a believer.
Da, 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 da.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. It's Monday.
Monday. All right. And let me see there. What are you guys doing on the D Live?
Oh, I don't even have that open because it'll kill everything on my end.
Yeah, don't. Just don't. It's not good for you.
Not today. Not today, Satan.
I'm trying to look at everybody's comments. Not too much going on. The police haven't released a motive at DOA show. All right.
Yep, I'm trying to skim through all the watch parties right now. See what I got up here.
Oh my goodness! Look at all this. So many people. All right, we're coming back in a few seconds.
The mighty Mojo 50.
Defenders Live, Mojo 50 Radio.
That rhyme.
Well, yeah, it's Mojo 50 Radio. It's a lot of alliteration on the end.
It is. It is on the end. Make sure you check us out on all the social medias at DOAE Show, at the Twitters, Facebook, YouTube's, DLive,
all the rest.
TVs, iHeartRadio, all the jazzes, because we like talking to y'all because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I was gonna say something else, and my brain just kind of.
You had brain fog, didn't you? Did you have a brain fog?
I did.
You should have been taking Atrantil.
I know. I hear, and I need to. Among other things, I need to be taking all kinds of stuff right now.
Yeah, so you need Atrantil. You need CBD oils. You need you need to go to the Ridge Solution. Pretty much all those. But I'd like to focus on the CBD oils from Dr. King Brown.
Heard he's a butt doctor.
He is a butt doctor. He also came up with Atrantil, which is amazing. But CBD oils are, they're all the rave now.
They are a rave.
They are all the rave now. It's a hemp extracted derivative that's there. It's what gives you the good feels. It gives your body the good feels, not the high feels, just the good feels. It clears your mind. It helps your nerves calm down. It helps relieve pain and stress that's in the body. It's one of those things that it's just overall makes you feel better.
That's true.
And there are a lot of people out there that have issues and pain that they need taken care of, and they take a lot of prescription meds and drugs and everything else. But I've seen it myself. Taking a CBD oil or something of the sort can help you get off of all of those medications. It's highly possible. Check them out. Go to mojo50.com/shop. That's mojo50.com/shop. Look for CBD oils. And if you use the promo code DEFENDERS, you can get $15 off the price today.
You okay?
I am. You okay?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No, you just kind of stopped there. Oh, dear God.
I thought you were going to keep going. No, go ahead.
I was going to, but you froze on my end. There's something wonky going on. I think there's an electrical storm out near here, so.
No.
And so you kind of froze for a moment, so I lost it. So anyway, yes, go to
mojo50.com.
That's what I said. /shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, has anybody watched the Morning Joe?
Morning Postum? No.
Anybody.
Nope.
Well, apparently there was a guest on that kind of said something. Trump's Baltimore rhetoric could lead to a horrible civil war.
Really?
Hmm. Yes, America may be on the verge of a horrible civil war because of President Donald Trump's criticism of crime-ridden major city that has exclusively been run by the Democratic mayors for decades, according to a guest on Morning Joe. Reports Fox News. Morning Joe. Over the weekend, President Donald Trump ignited controversy when he called out Representative Elijah Cummings, Democratic from Maryland, for being the congressman overseeing what many might consider one of the most troubled districts in the U.S. of A's. Quote, Cummings.
Well, hold on. Stop.
Mm-hmm. Still gets a bell. I said Cummings.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Hmm?
Being born from Maryland.
Yes, you do hail the Maryland.
Yeah, hailing from Maryland. I can say this with all, with all abandon, with all abandon, Maryland sucks.
That's why you're here.
It is a crap hole. And
anything that close to DC is.
It just gets hurt. And no, but Maryland has been this way for a long time. You know what? They have great crabs. They've got some great restaurants. They've got a whole bunch of other stuff. But if you're talking about like the society in Maryland,
like the people,
it is. There's a lot of hardworking people, but there's also a lot of drunks, a lot of druggies,
Allegedly.
a lot of prostitution. There's a lot of quote unquote rats.
Yeah, that was part of the mention.
And it gets worse. It gets worse and worse every year. And it's ran by Democrats, has been run by Democrats for a long time.
It is the best way to describe it. It's the major city version of Flint, Michigan, with the whole water thing, and everything's falling apart and dying, and it's what happens when corruption is allowed to fester. And this is, again, I feel like a broken record, but we will say it until we're kicked off and never allowed to speak again. Mm-hmm. This is why your local elections are the most important elections of the entire election season.
Yeah, really, the president shouldn't matter that much to you.
It doesn't, because technically it is still done by the Electoral College. So as much as they do tout it that your vote doesn't count, it's kind of true, but it's kind of not. It's Electoral College. We're not going through all that today. What does matter is what you can do in your local community, the people that you have supporting you in your area. Because what happens is if you get your support at the local level up and strong and solid, then what happens is those guys who are then responsible for electing and picking people will be based off of that same thing. And the ripple effect will flow out through the rest of the country. Mm-hmm. People have got to stop focusing on, well, the only important thing is maybe the senator or two that I happen to know and like, and the president, and that's it. No.
Thank you, Alex Jones.
Who's running? Yeah, I know. Why did you?
It's just the way that you said it.
I know, but
you didn't. It was unintentional, but you somehow came out with,
"And they turn the freaking frogs gay."
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I didn't realize it sounded like that. But
yeah, you sounded almost like that, so I had to.
My inner Alex Jones. Sorry about that, but no, it's absolutely the truth. We've got to. You need to worry about not just who your mayor or who your governor is. You need to know who is your dog catcher. You need to know who is your sheriff. Who's any elected office. Who's running your school board in your local area. This is the stuff that you have got to be a part of.
Especially if you have kids in the school.
Especially if you have kids. But even if you don't, you've got to know this stuff, because when junk hits the fan, that's where it starts. Believe it or not, nobody wants to accept that, but that's where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, I'm going to get off my soapbox on that now.
All right, you stepping down? Are you stepping down?
Yeah, I'm done. Quote, Cummings district is disgusting. Rat and rodent infested mess, end quote. Trump tweeted out. He also tweeted, quote, if he spent more time in Baltimore, maybe he could help clean up this very dangerous and filthy place.
Sick
end
burn.
quote.
Sick burn.
It is. Well, and you know what's bad is, isn't it is it San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
That they're talking about the bubonic plague is now surfaced again there, or traces of
something like that. Yeah.
Hello, Baltimore. Y'all are on the same thing is getting ready to happen to you too.
You're on the list.
Yeah. You're next, pumpkin, and it doesn't look well for you. Again, when you have someone like Elijah Cummings who's been there since arguably the founding of, the Continental Congress, and you've been that corrupt and jacking things up for that long, people just after a while just go, well, it's just normal. No, it's not normal.
No, it's not supposed to be normal. Look, just because Nancy Pelosi has literally been in office since George Washington was in diapers does not mean that it's normal. All right? It is not normal. But you know what is normal?
I heard she was his wet nurse.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Poor George. That's why I had wooden teeth. Hey-o.
Oh. But you know what is normal?
What is normal?
The rugged dependability of a cat cooler.
I'm going to get one.
I know you are.
I've already got it set up. It's saved. I just have to. I've got to pull the trigger, and I
see. That's speaking of pulling the trigger. Look, cat coolers are one of those things that are amazing. It's if you can drop a cinder block on it and the cinder block cracks and the cat cooler doesn't.
Yes.
You might have something good. Look, these things are amazingly dependable. Not only that, but they keep your ice cold for up to 7 days. They're made in the United States, and they're fully customizable. What do I mean by that? Well, other than the fact that they have 5 separate colors that you can utilize and go with, they can also put anything you want on there. Do you want a logo? Do you want a design? Do you want, I don't know, maybe a picture of us standing side by side?
It would definitely help with your dietary needs, because if you say are into wanting to dip into the snacks,
you just look at our face, look at us,
there, be like, oh no,
yeah, look at our physique and be like, oh no, not a good idea. But you can check it out today. If you go to catcoolers.com, go to catcoolers.com, use the promo code Steven, that's STEVEN. You can get 10% off on anything you purchase there. Plus, did I mention they have a lifetime warranty? So if you do happen to break it?
Yes.
It's a lifetime warranty.
Oh, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Over on MeWe. So that's how Pelosi accumulated $200 million, $1 million each year.
Yep. Hold on.
That's great.
Here you go. That's for you. That is for.
And apparently they're making fun of me. I said bubonic, and they're saying I said blue bonnet.
Blue bonnet plague.
Why not?
Why not? Sure, let's do it that way. So, an ex-pastor and also a popular author says he can no longer call himself a Christian.
Well, at least he's being honest.
Maybe not. Maybe he's just deceived by his own strict ruling.
Well, but what I'm saying is at least he can actually say, I cannot call myself a Christian, as it were, anymore.
Sure.
Because holding to what actually defines myself as a Christian. Thank you. Because I am so tired of these people like, no, I'm a devout Christian, blah, 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 blah. And then the next, 6 paragraphs that fall out of their mouth is everything completely contradictory to the biblical teaching whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's good times, right? It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's magical. The author of the influential Christian book, quote, I kissed dating goodbye.
Which I almost got for my daughters. Did you? I almost got it for my daughters for later on in their life.
Thank God you didn't, because we were having a barbecue. He recently announced that he and his wife were separating, now says he can no longer call himself a Christian by, quote, all the measurements, end quote, that he is for defining the term.
Sorry, measurements.
Measurement. Former pastor Josh Harris, who has previously denounced aspects of his popular courtship series, made the declaration in an Instagram post. God, what the hell is up with social media? On Saturday, featuring a photo of himself looking out at Joffrey Lake at a park.
Looking out longingly.
Yes, gazing. In the post, Harris tells his followers that his earlier announcement about the decision to get a divorce left out a key piece of information. He no longer identifies as a Christian.
Wait, what?
The statement also includes an apology to members of the LGBT community. Here we go.
He also recently announced that he and his wife are separating. That's wow.
And then it's an apology to the LGBT. You know what I'm going to argue?
He's gay.
And that's exactly what I'm getting ready to say. Is that I have no proof of that, but it does seem a teensy bit convenient / suspicious /
You know what? You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
He was stuck in the closet.
It wasn't me. Quote, my heart is filled with gratitude. I wish you could see all the messages people sent me after the announcement of my divorce, which sidebar real fast. If you get a bunch of people congratulating you on your divorce, something is really wrong there, pal.
And I know that my heart will go on.
Their expressions of love, though they are saddened or even strongly disapprove of the decision. I am learning that no group has the market cornered on grace. This week I've received grace from Christians, atheists, evangelicals, ex-evangelicals, which I didn't know was a thing.
That's a thing.
Straight people, LGBTQ people, and people in between. Of course.
In between what?
I don't know. Apparently in between the straight people and the LGBTQ, I guess. Of course, they have also been strong words of rebuke from religious people. While not always pleasant, I know they are seeking to love me. There has also been a spiteful, hateful comments that angered and hurt me.
You know what? I don't care.
I don't either.
It doesn't. You know what? Look, everybody has a fault. Everybody has a sin.
Everybody wants to be a cat. Okay.
No, I don't. I have 3 cats. I definitely don't want to be that.
2 cats. Everybody wants to be a cat.
I know.
The thing that got me to go just a tad, that was a little bit, is in part of his ending of all this. He follows the revelation of the statement of repentance, which includes a specific apology directed to the homotype sexuals. Quote, I have lived in repentance for the past several years, repenting of my self-righteousness, my fear-based approach to life, the teaching of my books, my views of women in the church, my approach of parenting, in the name of few. But I specifically want to add to this list now, to the LGBTQ plus community, that I want to say that I am sorry for the views that I have taught in my books, and as a pastor regarding sexuality. I regret standing against marriage equality, for not affirming you and your place in the church, and for any ways that my writings and speakings contributed to a culture of exclusion and bigotry, and I hope that you can forgive me. End quote.
Are we done yet?
I'm done.
So he's gay, right?
Oh, he's queer as a $3 bill. And again, that's fine. You choose to do that. You're backing out of your faith, and you back out of. Kudos to you for at least being honest all the way to the end.
Okay.
Who the hell cares?
Nobody.
Really,
but you know what I do? Do you know what I do care about, though?
What do you care about?
I care that it is getting late in the show, and we have a grindstone to do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. So we're going to get to it because I really don't care about that story. So here it is. Let's go. It's your Monday grindstone.
That sounds so weird when you do it that way.
I know.
We're going to have to find something else. We're going to have to get up somebody to...
Yeah, I'm going to have somebody do this, but that's okay.
Let's do it.
Anyway,
Let's-
so we've got in the Grindstone today
Mm-hmm.
the one thing nobody likes doing.
Nope, because everybody has an issue with this particular topic, and from the widest of spectrums. It is amazing when you really think about it, because anybody, or anytime anyone speaks of money and the church, everyone's butt goes
puckers straight up,
quick, fast, and in a hurry, because there's this thing where some people feel they hold to the 10% or the first 10%, or it's all this weird stuff.
Sure.
Or here comes the church asking for money again. What are they spending it on? And there's this weird mistrust thing, and it's just, you can collectively, you go sit in any church at any point, any time, and have them start talking about giving, and you watch just
everybody gets incredibly uncomfortable.
Everybody's butt tightens real quick. And you can hear it in some cases. So,
but anyway, it is true. Anyway, so what are we talking about? Obviously, we're talking about giving. Giving. See, giving is grace giving. We're talking about sacrificial giving. We're talking about, things like in the New Testament, the focus on the heart behind the gift, in the blessings and the sacrificial giving, the sacrificially to give of your resources for the works of God's people and fulfilling God's commandment.
You mean doing it because you want to and not because you feel you have to.
Right. And so let's see. Let's go through some Old Testament stuff, right? So
let's do.
In some Old Testament, it says the idea of tithe was the 10th, right? It was a 10th of your first fruits. That was the idea of the tithe. It was your first fruits, the 10th of. It was given to the Lord to provide for the priests and the Levites and the caretakers of the temple.
And why was that? Most people don't know this, but back in that day, the priests and everybody, the keepers of the tabernacle, were not allowed to have, I can't say a job. That was their job.
They weren't allowed to have land. They weren't allowed to have, really like a family overall. They weren't allowed to have anything.
Back in the day, we're talking ancient times like that,
They
very contradictory to what it is nowadays. Everybody was pretty much self-sufficient.
TD Jakes.
You ate of your flock. You ate of your crops. You drank from your springs. You lived in your tents. You slept on your land. That's how it worked. If you didn't eat, it was because you didn't have animals or crops or whatever. In this instance, God had declared that the priests and the keepers of the temple and tabernacle were not allowed to have animals, crops, cattle, place to stay, families, as Stephen said. So how are they going to live? They're going to have a short lifespan, and nobody's going to really want the job if, you don't eat or, drink or have anything to have. So therefore, that was where, as Stephen had eloquently put a second ago, that's where the tithe came from. It was in order to make sure that the priests were able to eat and live.
Right. And so we go through, Genesis 14:20 says things like, "And blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into our hands. And Abram gave him a 10th of everything." Okay. And then 28:20 in Genesis, "Then Jacob made a vow saying, I will, if God will be with me and will keep me in the way that I go, I will, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear." That's where it's going with the vow there. And then we have Leviticus, which that's always good. Everybody loves Leviticus. It's a great way to put kids to sleep. It says, "His own hand shall bring the Lord's food offering. He shall bring the fat of the breast, and that the breast may be waved in the wave of offerings." This is what Dylan was talking about. All the offerings and things like that was all given to the church. "The priest shall burn the fat of the altar, but the breast shall be Aaron and his sons." That is how they ate. That is how the priests ate. They ate from the sacrifice.
And pause real quick for a second. Keep in mind, everything that he has read so far, the people volunteered that amount.
Right.
It
This is what they volunteered to do.
God said do blank. They said, I'm going to do this because of what I've been given. And that is the whole point of what giving is. That's the whole point of what all of these tenets or the pillars or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all these are for. It's meant to be done out of the overflow of the appreciation of the heart.
Right.
Period. Not out of not out of a necessity or out of obligation. Having said that, as sinful, fallen human people, we have moments. We have our times where we're like, you know what? I don't feel like doing X, or I don't feel like giving, or I'm really worried that if I give this like I should, I won't have for me, or whatever. We will have those moments, and you can't sit here and go, well, I've had that moment. I must not be. That's not how that works. In the end, generally, it needs to be done from a spot of appreciation and from the heart, not because you feel that there is an all-powerful being with his finger at the back of your brain that says, if you don't give me what I want, then I'm going to blow your brains out the front of your head.
Right, but then you have things like Malachi 3:8. It says, will man rob God? Yet you're robbing me. But you say, how have we robbed you? In your tithes and in your contributions. In your tithes and contributions. Now you can find, giving is also in the New Testament. See, there's no specific amount in the New Testament. It's more focused on the heart behind the gift and the blessings and the sacrificial givings. Things like Luke 18, which is 10 to 14. 2 Corinthians 9-7, which says, each one must give as he decides in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion. For God loves a cheerful giver.
I feel like I just said that.
I know, right? It's great, isn't it? See, believers are still responsible for contributing to the needs of God's workers, pastors, missionaries, rather than the Levites and priests. They're also there to help the poor and to make sure that, those things run as smoothly as possible. That being said, does God need your money?
No. He owns everything. Everything is his. He doesn't need anything from you.
Mm-hmm, right. But this is an act on your part just to show your appreciation to God. This is an act on your part to further the mission, to help those that are on the Great Commission actually go out there and do their work without having to worry about all the normal, mundane, humdrum things that we all have to deal with on a daily basis.
Because life can get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it does.
Yeah,
Life
it does.
Life has a way of sneaking in there, and before you know it, it's like, well, my God, I haven't done blank, or I had to, and it's
exactly.
You have to be disciplined. You have to pay attention. You have to, and don't sweat it when you realize, oh crap, I haven't done anything. I haven't given anything. I'm going to be in trouble now. That's not how this works.
Right.
That is called legalism, folks, and that, unfortunately, is probably the biggest problem. Well, one of the biggest problems that when it comes to Christianity and comes to the church and as a whole.
Mm-hmm. That the idea that you have to do everything by the book, by the law, we can't live like that. We don't live like that. The reason why it was there originally was to make sure that you understood that you were never going to achieve that goal.
You're never gonna get there.
You're never gonna get there. There has to be something else in the way.
Doesn't mean you don't stop striving for it.
Right. You always strive for perfection. What is it? Sinless direction, not sinless perfection, right? That's it. It's been a day.
It has. Monday.
It's been a Monday. Here are the bell counts from your previous day.
Good evening, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with your bell count grade for the day. Today we had 5 missed innuendo bells, 45 actual bells, 5 rim shots, 3 horns, and 2 AOCs. Giving us a grade A for the day. Peace out, y'all, and good night.
We got an A. Yay! A for us. All right. That's Defenders Live. We are DOAEshow.com. DOAEshow.com. Go to the shop, get a raffle ticket, figure out what you want. We're doing the drawing on the second half of the show, September 3rd. See you tomorrow, folks. Later.